Good morning. This is Mitchel Chang from Chang Micro. I'm the Vice President for Corporate Social Responsibility and Education for the company. And we have been partnered with St. Thomas University since last year to help promote cybersecurity education and as well as help students to gain better insight of all the career opportunity in this particular field. And as for myself, I've been in the industry, the technology sector, for almost 38 years in my career. And also I've been specialized in cybersecurity for a little bit over 20 years. I've been with Trend Micro for 19 years. And so I'm glad to share with you, the audience, a little bit about my career path. I graduated from Texas A&M University, Texas Aggies, in 1984, and with a degree in electrical engineering. And I started my career with Texas Instruments as a integrated circuit chip designer within the semiconductor industry. Then, as I progressed my career, after 7 years at TI, I went into an industry called electronic design automation, or EDA industry, where we provide design tools to the company like TI, at that time Intel, IBM, and other semiconductor manufacturer or captive semiconductor manufacturer companies. And when I did that, I actually switched from a design engineer to applications field support service, our sales engineer type of position. And right before year 2000, I had opportunity. At the time I was in Silicon Valley, and I joined some startup company and kind of got into the IT security from the customer services and field support side of the company with several startups. And then in 2003, I joined Trend Micro as part of their global executive team to run customer support services. And recently, for the past 4 years, I've been taking on a different role for the company, really to help giving back some of our knowledge back to the community, helping with education, working with the universities, helping educate our small businesses to better protect themselves from all advancing threats that's coming up on very frequently these days. So that's a little bit summary on my career side. And so I prepared a slide deck. Originally, the intention for the slide deck is actually a sharing for university students. My understanding, this is a summer camp for our friends from high school here, and I will try to sort of tone down the technicality and just kind of focus on let you help you understand, some of the technology change that we're witness today and how that may impact the whole area of cybersecurity. First of all, a little bit background on Trend Micro. As any given large organization, we have our vision and mission and strategy statements. And a world safe for exchanging digital information, that's our vision statement. And that's the purpose why we're in the business. And we're fairly, I guess, a good-sized company from my perspective that focus on cybersecurity. We've been in business for 34 years, and our revenue, actually, the slide's a little bit out of date. We just exceeded $2 billion on sale on our net sales last year, and we are a customer base cover from very large corporations, enterprises, businesses, to everyday consumer cybersecurity product. And we have over 7,000 people worldwide in 65 countries. And so that's just a little bit background about Trend Micro. And one thing I think driving a huge amount of career opportunity in cybersecurity is the fact that we're seeing rapid activity on the criminal side. In old days, when somebody attacked your computer, maybe a hacker or somebody want to make a statement, but today it's all about money, revenue. These are criminal activities and they're organized and they have a lot of funding. And so you hear a lot about different scams, cyber scam, ransomware attack, and it just a huge amount of challenge for our society and community today. And as far as the career opportunity, I want to hit it off by reference to a website from NIST, National Institute of Standard Technology. They have an initiative called National Initiative for Cybersecurity Education. And they host a website called cyberseek.org. And that kind of give you an idea. If I know you're still in high school, you may be thinking about what you want to study in college or go to a professional training or apprenticeship program, or prepare yourself for your career somewhere down the road. And certainly, I think St. Thomas University, they have a cybersecurity program. That's why Trend Micro, we're working with them as a partner to help with the overall education awareness and education program. So they have a statistical website, show you how many jobs that's available. And what's amazing is there's over 700,000 jobs available in the United States today. That's job openings in the cybersecurity field. And they have a lot of data. It's analytic they're presenting, but it just kind of give you some sense of how much this field has been growing, and how much opportunity there is if you decide to get in. And also, one common question I usually get from university students is, do you have to be a technical person like a computer scientist or engineer to involve in getting cybersecurity? Answer is no, because there's certainly great need for computer scientists, IT professionals, engineers to be in the cybersecurity field. But there's also other disciplines within cybersecurity job market, such as managed information system, program managers, project managers, and people that's involved in legal, especially. There's a lot of laws and legislation is going to come through the pipe in the coming years on security and internet safety and these type of issue. And even educators, right? Because we have a lot of volunteers that in our company helping educate K-12 students on the cybersecurity awareness. We have a program called Internet Safety for Kids and Family. And as you start going to college, the popular university recruiting site or professional recruiting site, such as LinkedIn, that's for professionals. Handshake is for university students. That's very popular in the United States. And these type of sites will actually provide you some real job opening. You can check out how many what kind of job that's available. So if you're start thinking about career opportunity, and you kind of think this is something maybe you want to explore, and these are the resources. So I'm going to shift gear a bit here. First, we are going through a digital transformation, another era of digital transformation. What's happening is there's a lot of convergence from my perspective on different technologies. For example, you may have heard of some of these terms, you may not know them or understand what they are, but these are like what we call big data, cloud computing, and artificial intelligence, machine learning. And there's something called Internet of Things. These are IoT. These are devices. For example, at home you may have a refrigerator, smart TV, and those are all become smarter. They actually have capability to communicate back to a server or to a platform that provide information. And because of this, your device could provide a lot more flexibility. Even like autonomous vehicle that's going to be self-driving vehicle that's coming in the future. These are all based on IoT and big data, analytics, artificial intelligence, all these data. So a lot of things are coming together as technology progress. And as a result, we're seeing a lot of changes in our society, right? The mouse has been disappearing very rapidly, and mobile payment have hit $1 trillion in 2019. That's something we can't even imagine 10 years ago. And also all the digital transformation it is really provide you another level of efficiency and operation and effectiveness in everything we do in our lifetime. And also, it can solve a lot of challenging problems like healthcare, diagnosis and treatment and management of the healthcare. So we're kind of in a transition and digital transformation phase. Some people refer to it as the fourth industrial revolution. You probably heard about industrial revolution. That's where automation and assembly line, these type of things, there's the first and second. And we're going through is the fourth one. What's important about this industrial revolution is cyber physical. That means smart devices are providing data and back into a platform or a computing center that people can analyze these data and get the right information at the right time. And that's really critical because we may be collecting lots of data out there, but how to be able to analyze these data on a timely fashion and use it to our advantage is quite key here. And because the devices, as I mentioned, IoT, Internet of Things devices and smart devices are all coming together. And then we have the computing power in the back end with the cloud. And so everything's sort of coming together. And this is going to have, from my perspective, this will have some profound impact in our culture and everything we do in our society in the future for the generations to come. Okay, all of digital transformation is great, but we are going to be providing a lot of providing a lot of information. There's a lot of more information going to be flowing back and forth, and all your analytic data is going to need to be secure, because information is monetary, is money basically. In old days, people go rob bank, get all the dollar bills or coins, but in this information age, this digital transformation era, where information could be sold, just like money, and so it's really, all advancement really help our community and society, but at the same time create a big opportunity for cyber criminals, organized cyber criminals. And on top of a cyber criminal maybe using some of the same technology we use to enhance our livelihood, but they use again, in a way, they can use artificial intelligence, for example, to create attack, our machine learning to over counter the cyber defense software that company like Trend Micro produce. And on top of technology innovation, what make it even more challenging is also there's two other factors, environmental factor. There's a lot of misinformation out there. For example, COVID, the pandemic, give the cyber criminal a huge opportunity to leverage, because they can do a fake service or sell side for vaccines, our PPE, our what have you, and social engineering, the human factor is also huge. You can have the most sophisticated cyber defense tools and solutions out there to protect your company, but all it takes just some people that employee of the company click on the email they're not supposed to. They're designed to phish. People who like to click on these emails will eventually open up some vulnerability, a backdoor, allow the attacker to get into your system and create issues for you. And so as a result, at least from Trend Micro's perspective and my perspective, our challenge is going to be growing exponentially. And because there will be a lot of more data and more information we have to protect, not just your emails. There's a huge amount of data analytic going back and forth, and information we keep, and also a lot of your information today are moving into the cloud storage, right? So it's not just protecting your PC laptop standalone, but all your information source, because you do not want your credit card or any of your personal information gets stolen. Okay, as I already mentioned, when we talk about social engineering, human factor is different, a little bit different context in the psychology term, where people just leveraging psychological factor to trick the users to do things that they normally would do, and then they lure the user to click on some links to open up a backdoor or download malicious code into your machine so they can conduct further attack or make your machine to be ransom. And so combining that and with the technology vectors that make the cyber defense quite challenging, and also the criminal are taking a big advantage of this opportunity. So as a result, we see a growth, and because the criminal activity are very profitable, and we just need more people and more professional to protect our overall infrastructure. So again, I think moving forward, and I believe that's the reason why we need just not technical people, but also people understand psychological factor. The fact of the matter is, I've been working with several universities psychology department in the last few years on some research on human behavior, or social engineering, the sort of interdisciplinary study on the human factor of cybersecurity. And so to successfully defend a network, the company must consider not only having a good technology solution to protect them, also employee gets timely training and understanding, what kind of email you should try to not to click, because there may be spear phishing email try to lure you to open up your company's defenses. And I think the same tactic follow as home users, and in that you should be aware of. You should first install a sort of reputable antivirus or cybersecurity tool, and because the reputable tools today, not including just antivirus scan on your computer, but also protect you from going to malicious website, and filter out your spear phishing email that you may be getting from the hackers. So, is very quick summary is this digital transformation continues. Our challenge to make sure the data or information gets protected is going to continue to increase, right? And so thus we're going to need more professional and more talented people to sort of help fight against the criminals and the bad guys. And And so it's kind of fuel to sell because our system is going to get more complicated because we're going to have a lot of more devices communicating with each other, autonomous vehicle getting commands from the satellites or what have you, and that will create more vulnerability everywhere. And so it's kind of like a sort of like a cyclical process that feeds itself. And but if you like technology, you like notion of sort of being a good guy and working on your infrastructure, a company security as part of IT team, our security info security team are working for a vendor like Trend Micro, and then I believe you may want to kind of explore the career opportunity that you may have in cybersecurity by reference to some of the website I mentioned earlier. And and I think cybersecurity professional, the consequences if a company do not protect or individual, you do not protect your home computing or computers or your corporate network, the consequences are actually quite high. It could literally put a company out of business if they get a big ransomware attack or had to shut down their system or disrupt their business and our critical infrastructure. And the cost of potentially getting attacked versus by preventing attack, certainly the costs outweigh the the prevention by a great margin. Another factor, I think, what the cybersecurity professionals, whether you're working for a corporation, is their information security team, or information technology team, or working with a vendor like Trend Micro, the management of the cybersecurity is becoming a more a business or higher level decision process, what we call managing risk. And so it's not just a technical decision individual have to partake. For example, in the old days, we just make sure that IT professional, they understand the technology, turn on the firewall and install antivirus software. But now there is a real time risk factor you had to put in, because in the security there's always a trade-off between risk and how much you were willing to invest in a protection, and it's about managing the risk. And so a lot of time, cybersecurity professional facing the decision they're facing to make and to establish is going to be more business oriented versus just the technical. So this field for me is actually quite quite interesting, and with lots of exciting changes and coming up. So to summarize, as a company like Trend Micro, we certainly are here to embrace the digital transformation, but our mission is to deliver a cybersecurity platform that enables organization and as well as consumer to be resilient, and so they can go further and do more for their business or for their individually by leveraging all these technology that's coming for us in the coming years. So with that, I will switch gears and give you the audience some basic, what we call cybersecurity hygiene. These are things as a student, high school student today, maybe university students in coming year, that you should just observe. It's a good practice to protect yourself, being get attacked or have your information be compromised by the perpetrators. So again, this is just some recommendation. Good practices. We try to convey to students as well as home users or small business owners. Uh, First of all, I think you always heard this, always use a strong password. And I think a lot of logins today from applications to a company organization login, if you have a weak password, they're not going to allow you. They will give you a message. We need at least 8 characters with certain criteria of their password. If there's a lot of good password management tools out there, including Trend Micro. We have certainly a consumer and a corporate version of our password management tools. And this notion of multi-factor authentication, because it's just in case, a lot of time password is not good enough to defend hackers from getting into your account or stealing your information. So it's important you establish like a second layer or third layer, what we call two-factor or multi-factor authentication. And you probably are doing this already with a lot of your accounts. For example, when you log into your bank, they may text message you a code, and you got keyed at the end of the code also, just to prove you are who you say you are. And sometimes they use a biometric, for example, fingerprint, facial recognition, to adding the additional factor layer of security. And that's quite important because information gets stored in a lot of different places, like a lot of your classroom activity you may store in a Google or Microsoft shared drives, and some of these may be confidential or personal information. You do not want to get out there in the public or get stolen. And due to the popularity of the ransomware, we always recommend you frequently back up your system. And so just in case you get a ransom, that you can still restore your backup and continue to run your computer at home or run your business. Trusted vendor monitoring, because data is everywhere, you do want to leverage both, for this example, the cloud storage, like a OneDrive, a Dropbox, and these, you do want to get vendor that takes security seriously and make sure your data will be well protected. And service provider like the payment platform and things like that. And there's different area you can check. There's for corporations, they have like a Gartner reports, Magic Quadrant they put out for the corporate users or corporate IT professionals. And certainly a consumer, you have like a consumer report or PC Magazine, for example. They put out some good reports on the recommended product, which they test on an annual basis. And also, there's some notes we recommend user to observe, like your home Wi-Fi router. Make sure you put a strong encryption, and mobile devices. Always, a lot of these devices, they have a default administrator password like a 0000. You should always change the default when you set up the machine, because that just sort of keep your back door open there for the hacker to come in. If you don't, at least you put a stronger password, it will protect your system or your network better. And I think the websites, there's a lot of malicious website out there today, but it takes a very sophisticated system to track all the malicious website or spoof website. And if you go with a reputable vendor product, they will have a system and a way analytic to track that in real time. I mean, the website could be changing, flip from the website itself that you go to may be compromised. So the real-time checking that's embedded in product is actually quite important. And certainly, in case you have run into issue, you do want to have protection software, cybersecurity product, or antivirus product that provide 24/7 urgent support if needed, because you don't know when potentially you maybe get attacked or lose your information. And continuing on with cybersecurity hygiene, certainly there's a lot of operating system upgrades and vulnerability patch, and please get those installed very timely. And because there's new vulnerability being discovered on a daily and monthly basis by both the perpetrator and the hackers. There's some ethical hacker out there that they actually go out, try to look for these vulnerabilities and then report back to various organizations. And so the company who produce product that has this vulnerability can fix them before the bad guys or criminals get their hands on it. And you do want to protect your identity, because people are using phishing, especially what they call spear phishing, is a way to pretend to be your friends, or sending you information that you may take strong interest. For example, if you like music, somebody offer you some music concert ticket at a very steep discount price, or something that attracts you. You kind of lower your guard and just click on it, start opening up your back door, get your machine compromised and ransom. The possibilities are very high. So less you have publicly post, like social media tools, the less you post about yourself. I think we certainly that will be that may be the best approach to protect your information. Certainly, any personal identifiable information, PII, you should not put that anywhere in the public. For example, your driver's license number, social security, any kind of credit card information, and those type of things, what we refer to as personal identifiable information. And there on the credit identity protection, that's a very specialized field that had to do with the credit score. But since most of you in high school, you may not take a note of this yet. But when you start working professionally, when you apply for a credit card, they actually give you a credit score, and those are monitored by the big three credit agencies. And you can actually do things with them sometimes if you get into any issues, because there's a lot of identity being stolen every year, and you can report this, and you can actually freeze your credit, so nobody can act on your behalf to go get a car loan, or using your name for a car loan or something like that. So those are some of the options. And one thing is, there's a lot of freeware out there for cybersecurity product like antivirus. You do want to use a reputable one, and it's certainly worth spending a $30 or $40 a year license to get your machine protected, because the risk is certainly is much higher. If for $30 or $40, your potentially your loss could be much higher. Not just your potentially information loss, but also productivity. Like somebody ransom your hard drive, you may lose a year, many years worth of work that's stored on your machine. That could be lost in over a very quick instant. And last but not least, watch out for phishing and smishing. Phishing is just a fake email. They pretend to be someone who they're not really is, but they just try to get you to click on some link and start opening up the back door. And smishing is the same as email phishing, but we usually send by text messages. And so on these things, you have to really think, assess before you click. We do have a lot of information on our website, especially under Internet Safety for Kids and Family, and also a small business. We have a lot of webinars talk about these specifics things you have to watch out for, and to keep yourself safe on internet, and as you working more and more with a computer, not only at the home level, but also for school or for business. Okay, I think that pretty much conclude my presentation here. And I know we have Brooke and maybe Lauren, some Trend Micro representative there to answer your question. I apologize, I'm actually on vacation this week. I would call in to make a live presentation. So I actually recorded this while traveling in Asia, and hopefully this will be a helpful information to you on selecting, considering cybersecurity as a career, or little little recommendation on cybersecurity hygiene may help you better protect yourself. Anyway, you guys have a good day and good fourth weekend coming up. Thank you.